Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to this next iced coffee date. So today we are talking about pre and post nutrition as well as nutrient timing. I feel like this is a question I get again and again from clients. I feel like there's a lot of confusion about it, but it's also, this is going to be the disclaimer that different things work for different people. So, these are just kind of general recommendations that I'm going to share with you, things that have worked for me personally, things that have worked for our clients, based off, research. And my research is basically listening to much smarter people who do this for a living. So like nutrition researchers, exercise researchers, and, not an expert as far as the science go, but I do my best as far as staying up on the science. So just wanted to give that disclaimer that, you could really get into the weeds with this stuff. And I think for a lot of women, it's just making it as simple as possible, making it realistic, like what can you actually do in your life that makes sense, and making it sustainable, because at the end of the day, it really is consistency. It's doing the same boring things again and again, and that's how you get results. So like I said, I know you can really get into the weeds on this. There's like BCAAs, there's carb cycling, there's like a million different things that you can do around your workouts to like hack them and, optimize them and everything. But I am talking to like the regular woman who is working out to be fit, to get stronger. Working out is part of your life, but it's not your whole life. You're not a professional athlete. All right, so those are all my disclaimers. Okay, so I probably have like 4 or 5 questions here that I just get again and again. So I was kind of going to do like an FAQs this morning. So the first one is, should I eat breakfast before I work out? This is such a hot topic, intermittent fasting, the whole bit. I've heard all the things. And again, this is very different for everybody. And I don't think you have to eat breakfast. And I should also point out that if you're trying to lose weight or trying to lose fast, it doesn't matter if you eat or don't eat before your workout. I've heard this again and again. I was actually listening to the Huberman Lab podcast just the other day. It was probably his episode last week or maybe the week before, but he had Dr. Andy Galpin on there, and he's like an endurance fitness guy, and he mentioned that a few times as far as like the research shows it doesn't matter, fasted workouts aren't necessarily better for fat loss, and he just made that very, very clear. So just wanted to point that out. Doesn't really matter. And I think it's more of a personal preference, like, do you want to eat before you work out? And I know there's some people, they wake up and they're just like kind of nauseous, like the thought of eating sounds terrible. So I don't think you should force yourself to eat if it doesn't make you comfortable. But I identified a few different types of people who might want to eat before their workout. So I think if you have blood sugar issues, I think it would be really important to eat something, because if you have low blood sugar or suffer from blood sugar issues, you're probably going to have some sort of like low blood sugar issue in the morning, although you could have high blood sugar issues in the morning too. Kind of depends on what's going on with you. But I think if you have unstable blood sugar levels, eating something could be really helpful as far as just fueling that workout, helping you feel better, giving you more energy, and of course helping you recover better. So I think there's a lot of reasons there. If you have adrenal fatigue, 100%, I absolutely think you should be eating something, because exercise is a stress on the body. So if your body is already stressed out, dealing with adrenal issues, HPA axis dysfunction, burnout, all the things, eating something can actually be really helpful for your body, because it takes some of that stress off of it. If you want to gain muscle, I think it's really important to make sure you're eating something. Those carbohydrates and having some fuel in your system can be really, really helpful as far as like building muscle. So I think that's really important. If you have kind of like low energy in the morning, this is just literally like a fuel thing, like giving your body calories, giving your body energy can make you feel better during your workouts, help you perform better, lift heavier, go faster, all of that. And of course, performance-based. Like if you are somebody that's going to the gym, you're trying to get stronger, you're trying to get faster, eating could be really, really great. And again, I feel like there's so many people out there that tell me, they're like, oh, I never eat something before I work out early in the morning and I'm fine. I gain muscle, I feel okay, I recover okay. Cool, you do you. Honestly, we are the experts of our own body, so whatever works for you, continue to do it. But, if you're not feeling great in your workouts, you're not recovering well, you're not building muscle, maybe it's time to change your approach. Again, I am not the expert of you and your body. So, listen to what your body says. And that biofeedback is really important as far as like telling you what's quote unquote working or not working. And I think that's a big piece of the puzzle, if you should eat or not. And then I get the question a lot about, a lot of people work out at 5 in the morning, 5:15, like super duper early. And they're like, well, I know I should eat something, like, what should I eat? Either I'm not super hungry, or I don't have a lot of time. I don't want to make it like a big thing, or I'm working out, 30 minutes later. I don't really have time to digest a full meal. So I wrote down a few things as far as like what I eat, what, some of our clients eat, that might be some good ideas for you. But really you want to prioritize carbohydrates, because that's what your body is going to want and need as far as your workout goes. And then you can always throw in some protein. And the reason I say protein is, it helps balance your blood sugar if you're adding like a bunch of carbs. Can keep you full and satisfied, of course, like if you are hungry in the morning. But also it's hard to hit your protein goal for the day if you don't start first thing in the morning as far as that first meal goes. I feel like if you skip a meal, it's really hard to hit your protein goal. So I'm always like, get some protein in first thing in the morning. And you can have a little bit of fat too. It's just your body's going to prefer those carbs. So just go carbs first. And then if there's a little bit of fat, that's totally fine. So some ideas as far as what to eat. I'm a big fan of just a protein shake made with whey protein or whatever protein you like, with orange juice, chocolate milk, something that has carbohydrates in it, because those are quick energy and those are going to be used well as far as like going into your workout, giving you the energy that you need. It's just like so simple and easy. I've also been doing a waffle or a rice cake with a little bit of jelly on top. It's literally straight carbs, just a little something in my body. Doesn't take a lot of effort or energy to digest, and it will be used well for my workout. I'll do an egg on a piece of toast. That's an easy one. I'll grab a banana, just grab a banana, and I'll mix up a protein shake, and that will be my carbs and protein. Cottage cheese with fruit, that's a really easy one. Like the other day I had cottage cheese and I had a pear and just chopped it up, threw it in. Blueberries, whatever fruit you want, but just throw it in with the cottage cheese. And same thing, you could do it with Greek yogurt as well. But there's, a few different options there. And keep it simple. Doesn't need to be this big complicated thing. All right. Next question. Is it more effective to do cardio in a fasted state? So I briefly mentioned that, but as far as I know from the research, no, it does not matter. And I think a lot of times it can hurt you in the long run because you don't have the energy as far as going hard, going longer, giving your body that energy and fuel that it needs. According to Dr. Andy Galpin, doesn't make a difference as far as fat loss goes. Next question is, what about if I work out after work? Should I eat something before, or what about after? Okay, so this is somebody that's working out later in the day, like working like a full-time job, I'm assuming, and then afterwards. So I think if you haven't eaten anything in a really long time, like if you haven't eaten since lunch, I think a snack would probably be helpful for the same reasons I gave before, as far as like eating first thing in the morning, just giving you a little bit of energy. If you're somebody that is struggling from stress, adrenal issues, blood sugar issues, low energy in general, eating something can give you energy to perform better in your workout, to feel better, all that. And then as far as afterwards, like if you're not going to eat dinner for a really long time, I feel like most people, they work out, they go home, they shower, they eat dinner, you're probably fine. Because if you're eating dinner, you're covering your bases as far as protein, carbs, fat, you're probably getting all the things in your dinner. So I think that's a perfect post-workout meal. But if you're going like a really long time, like throw in a protein shake. And I always do a 1-to-2 ratio as far as protein and carbs. So if you have 30 grams of protein in there, do 60 carbs. So a lot of times like orange juice is my go-to. Vitamin C, it's good for the adrenals, if your body's stressed out, a lot of good things about orange juice. But that's just like an easy thing. Chocolate milk's a good one. Any other like fruit juice or anything like that I think could work. But a protein shake could be really good right after the workout if you're not eating dinner. The next question is, are protein shakes useful / necessary? It really depends on the person. I think they're convenient, you know what I mean? Like protein, juice, takes 2 seconds. Like I have one in my bag for after the gym today. But if you're just gonna eat a meal after you work out, I think that's fine. I mean, you're getting what you need as far as protein, carbs, fat. And the only thing I would say like after a workout is just to really prioritize those carbohydrates. Like get your protein in, that's very important. But make sure you're eating enough carbs because you need to refuel your muscles, really good for building muscle, really good for recovery. And that's when your body is going to utilize those carbohydrates because it just worked out, you just used all this glucose. So you're just basically like putting it back in and replenishing it. And this is a little pro tip. This is like a carrots and cake pro tip. That if you wanted a fun treat, like a donut or a cookie or like something like that, have it after your workout. It's like the best time to use all that sugar and carbohydrates and all of that. But it's a little hack. And yeah, there are sometimes like I go to CrossFit, have like a, sweaty workout and it's like donut Friday or something like that. I'm like getting a donut today. I just worked out and burned a lot of glucose and sugar and everything. Let's put it back in with a donut. Pro tip, guys. And then last question here is, what about carbs after dinner? Do I need to cut those out in order to lose weight? So I think actually on that episode, I should just link this episode for you guys from the Huberman Lab podcast. But they talked about that as far as like carbohydrates in the evening. And that's a myth too. It really just depends like what you're eating throughout the day, how much you're eating, how much activity you're doing. So it's not like, oh, I had all these carbs at night, like I'm going to gain fat or whatever. So carbohydrates can actually be helpful at night. Like if you have trouble sleeping, like having some carbohydrates before bed can actually help you sleep better. So again, it's so personal and individualized. I know if I have like a big bowl of pasta or something, for dinner, that will wake me up in the middle of the night because it doesn't have the fiber and kind of like the things that balance blood sugar. Like pasta is going to spike your blood sugar and then it's going to come down. So I can't eat certain things like that, but I will absolutely have like beans and potatoes and like starches and carrots and those type of carbohydrates at bedtime. And I do fine with those. Also ice cream before bed. Oh my gosh. I had a stretch there where I was having like a bowl of ice cream before bed with like a little bit of melted peanut butter and some chocolate sauce. I was sleeping amazingly. I don't know if it's like a secret. I don't know. It was just like a big stretch there where I was like, I'm just going to have ice cream every single night. And I slept great. Sorry, a little tangent, guys. But basically, you can have carbs at night, totally fine. I would just try to find carbs that have fiber, that are more slow digesting, maybe more low glycemic, just to help keep your blood sugar more stable. And of course, pairing it with protein and fat and all that, you should be good to go. But if you're eating dinner, a lot of times that macro balance happens on its own. All right, guys, that's all I got here. I hope you liked this. I hope it kind of cleared up some confusion. And again, these are, general recommendations is what we tell our clients a lot of the time or make suggestions. But ultimately, it's what your body responds to best. So don't feel like you have to do something if it's not working for your body. Definitely like listen to your body and pay attention to how you feel, before that workout, during that workout, after that workout. I would even say like 2 hours after that workout, even like throughout the day. Like, is that workout giving you energy? Is it making you feel good? Or are you feeling like totally depleted? Could be, cortisol, adrenal, issue, burnout, that type of thing. But it could also just be, how are you fueling or not fueling your workout? So just something to think about as far as like where you're placing your food choices and calories. All right, guys, hope you have a lovely day. Talk to you soon.